was thinking about cloaking Sasquatch and portals and the human capacity to alter perceptions and visually fabricate seamless yet unreal elements in our reality from moment to moment. Perhaps I chose this video backdrop as a Freudian event that I am raining perhaps on some cherished ideas. In my brain contortions discussion, I mentioned the phenomenon of a pilot missing the step to lower landing gear in a small plane, looking to confirm gear is down and locked, and actually seeing what they expect, even though it's not actually so. The opposite also happens, but is less dire and reported less often. But on occasion a pilot will look to confirm gear is down and locked, and not see it. Then they check the controls and find the gear deployed, and they look again to find that everything is okay. The brain can fill in perceptions regardless of what is actually there, and it can do this for many different situations. I have read accounts, and I've also heard these stories repeated, though I am not certain of their veracity, that in some cases, when European explorers arrived at the North American coast, there were natives who appeared startled when they stepped from their landing boats. The natives had no intellectual framework to recognize the ships anchored off their shore, and actually did not see them until they were described by the explorers. I wonder if stories of Sasquatch appearing or disappearing might sometimes be a matter of this kind of perceptual shift. Perhaps one looks to see the cause of commotion and sees a Sasquatch because that's what they expect to see. And as the brain catches on to the fact, the Sasquatch vanishes to their perception because, well, it was never there in the first place. I imagine the brain may even fabricate a means or mechanism to allow the person to believe this transition, like a portal or a UFO, or a shapeshift into an ordinary animal. I expect the reverse is also entirely possible, that looking to a commotion, the person initially sees nothing, but as their brain is confronted with a life-altering perception, the cause becomes visible to their perception, as if by magic. In the same way, the brain may fabricate a means to believe this sudden perception, portal or UFO, or an ordinary animal changing into a Sasquatch. It is a purely psychological explanation for a magical perception. There may be such a thing as portals, we do not know, but we have no precedent to accept the idea in common perception for day-to-day life. Yet we know the brain will fabricate perceptions to preserve its rightful place as your best guide to life. I am not saying this is the explanation. It is just one potential explanation, and it depends only on non-magical capabilities we already know everyone possesses. When there is a mundane explanation, we should be willing to question the more magical ones. But that is just clear and critical thinking. In the end, we may discover that the more magical explanation is also potentially true, but it is hazardous to simply accept them as the only explanation. I am the Curious Cryptid, and I think you will find your ideas are stronger when you are willing to question them yourself. Remember that others will certainly question your ideas anyway. The questioning does not threaten good ideas, but critical thinking helps to discover them.